So according to Hall of Fame boxer Sugar Shane Mosley, Earl Spence Jr. and Terrence Bud Crawford allegedly, let me just say that word again, allegedly sparred before, with Spence getting the better of Crawford. As a matter of fact, rumor has it Spence did some damage to Crawford during that sparring session. Now I don't know how true that is, but we have heard stories of Spence's sparring sessions over the years, especially his infamous Floyd Mayweather sparring where he allegedly hurt Floyd and gave him a black eye, giving Mayweather all he could handle, to the point where an all-out fight broke out at the Mayweather gym. Spence and others, including Floyd, have touched on it from time to time in a few interviews, along with a sparring session that allegedly took place between Spence and Adrian Broner, where it has been said that Spence actually stopped Broner in that session. All those stories were actually played the biggest factors in the hype surrounding Spence when he first stepped foot on the scene. The thing about this new information regarding the Crawford sparring is that we've never heard anything about it up until now. So the odds of it being true could be the same as the Vegas betting odds for the actual fight that will be taking place on July 29th between the two fighters. I mean, anyone that's a fan of the sport or boxed before already knows. When it comes to sparring, it is indeed like Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Floyd Mayweather said it himself in many interviews. You can give a guy good work in sparring, but it doesn't actually count until you're under the lights. So I say that to say, no matter if this is true or not, with the fight being on the horizon, it just made the fight that much more intense. For the simple fact, there's no timetable on when they would have sparred, but we do know it had to be 8 to 9 years ago minimum. Therefore, if it did happen, that means Terrence Bud Crawford must have took that very personally. I mean, you gotta think about it. Crawford has wanted this fight for years. He was damn near obsessing this matchup in every other interview. So we all know him and his trainer Bomac have been watching Spence very closely. Say what you want to say about Bud, but he's been waiting for this. What makes that even more interesting is it could explain why when the fight was first announced, Spence made a statement implying that the bout could possibly be a one-sided ass whooping, meaning Spence is probably more confident than many assumed in the first place. And if that already didn't make things more complicated, the car crash might have been a blessing in disguise, postponing a lot of things for Spence just so he could be on point rather than a deer in headlights. He said he was stepping, so we know he's ready. Yo, as if the stakes weren't already high with it being for Undisputed, now we might have a situation where if Spence lives up to his name, he solidifies himself as the truth, or if Crawford finally knocks down the tree, he redeems himself against the badass that's been whooping everyone behind the scenes. Hey, the month of July began with fireworks, and it can also end with an explosion. Hop off.
That Spence is kind of did some damage to Crawford before when they sparring and stuff like that. A long time when he was sparring with Floyd.
He look out the ring, he say, "You alright for a bitch." And I ain't hear him at first. I say, what? He say, "You alright for a bitch." I say, man, what? I say, man, you got me messed up. I say, man, put your shit back on. I say, matter of fact, turn off the clock. I say, we can go to somebody drop.
Looking for you, Errol. Where you at? I'm in the ocean. You say you the big fish. I'm looking for you. Fucking cookie ass shirt. Where your ass at? Oh, whole ass. Well, you got a lot of room to hide in this motherfucker. I don't know if I can find you in the ocean.